Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for weatherweb.net. It's the look ahead video today on Tuesday the 27th of October. Thanks for watching. And here's a satellite picture from earlier on today. It shows the swirl of cloud in the Atlantic, the area of low pressure, a deep feature centred out here. And the slow moving front extending southwards as a cold front across Spain, across France as well, just extending all the way southwards here. And this slow moving feature will continue to gradually push north and northeast this evening. It's dragging in very mild air though from the south and the southeast, keeping those temperatures fairly mild overnight, having seen temperatures up to almost 20 degrees during today. They're quite what you'd expect though with this wind from the south at this time of year, and nothing too out of the ordinary. Now all the details for the next few days are in the fast forecast video here at weatherweb.net, but just a look at the slightly longer range outlook. This is the usual chart we show you here, the 500 millibar anomaly chart for days 7 to 10, so taking you through until the end of this following week to around the 6th to the 9th of November. We've got higher than normal heights then centred on both models, European and GFS side by side here, centred out over Scandinavia, so blocking situation getting going again with high pressure in that sort of zone, a trough in the heights out to the west of the British Isles generating areas of low pressure, and chances are not moving too far eastwards, so I think what we'll find is a fairly mild southwesterly pattern with most in the way of wind and rain confined to more northern and northwestern extremities of Britain and Ireland. Just to take you through the sequence then on the 500 millibar charts going forwards, this from the GFS model, but many of the models not too dissimilar as we go forwards over the next 10 days. Here's the current situation, big trough out towards the west, ridge out towards the east, helping drag in that very mild air from the south and as we saw, so really helping that pattern. As we go forwards, deep trough digging into the Atlantic again, this is through to Thursday, helping to generate that next area of low pressure centred off towards the west and northwest of Scotland, and really keeping us in that mild flow. You can see it being dragged up all the way from almost the Azores. So that's a quite amplified pattern, the big ridge to the east, the big trough out towards the west sticking with us, and keeping fairly unsettled conditions as frontal waves just move their way northeastwards with some heavy bursts of rain on it. Gradually then into the weekend, this is now through Saturday into Sunday, that ridge stays out towards the east, but the trough begins to become cut off towards Spain and Portugal, and that main upper trough from the North Atlantic just goes further towards the north. So a gradual improvement in our weather whilst Spain and Portugal see the effects of that low that becomes cut off. Moving that further forwards, we go into Monday of next week, that ridge staying in place out towards our southeast, pumping in fairly mild southwesterly winds, maybe not quite as mild as the week goes on as we lose that direct southerly, but with time I think we still stay fairly mild. We've got some wind and rain always threatening the north and the west then as fronts graze through. This is to the 6th of November and driest and brightest conditions of all towards the southeast. I think one thing to watch out for next week is risk of some fog overnight, where high pressure just builds in, the wind speeds drop away and the atmosphere is pretty damp, so that may be a story as we go into next week. Now just to look at the analogue patterns that I came up with for the month of November. If you remember, a few weeks ago I showed you the winter patterns that came out of some of my analogue charts that I put together looking through the winter months as a whole, and that video is still on our YouTube channel. This then was the 500 millibar height anomalies for the month as a whole, and showing higher than normal heights generally over Britain, over the North Atlantic too, and lower than normal heights down away towards Spain and across into the Western Mediterranean, indicating then that more drier, blocked conditions would be the story again through this month, with higher pressure more common than not, and any Atlantic storms tending to go well to the south and perhaps become cut off well to the south. Just glancing at the States then, that would put lower than normal heights and more unsettled conditions to the southeast, and also some very stormy conditions possible out towards the far northwest around Canada as well, Western Canada. So just some variations even across the other side of the Atlantic. Interesting one then, it's all on some analogue years just to see how this does fare with some long range forecasting. But I'll leave you with that for today here at weatherweb.net. Thanks for watching and bye for now.